Gemini, welcome back for your October reading. The shop should be open shortly, so if you were interested in any of the items, keep an eye on the actual website. I will put a notification out, and I'll try and put a video up on YouTube as to when it's open, and then everyone has a heads up. The in-betweeners section of the reading has been put on hold. If I do have time, I will place it in a separate video. And that's for those of you that don't know whether to go left or right and what way to directly handle it. And I'll put it under each zodiac sign so that you can go directly to that link. Call it a crossroad, all the fence sitters. Now, I have... what else do I need to tell you? If you're needing to make a booking, you can go to the link directly below. And I have bought some additional cards on a manifestation level to see where you have power, where you're removing your power in order to co-create your future of what you need to do, what you need to work on. So the Abraham Hicks based around. And that card may relate to you. It fell out. So you can read that or pause it. But I'll pull two of each deck and I'll start tuning. Now for you, I do feel there's a house move on the cards. And I do feel it's unsettling you a little bit. And this has actually come up in October for almost every zodiac sign. There's going to be an aspect of change within the household. So this is going to be anything connected to renovations or a physical move. It could be work related. It could be separation related. It just anything directly related to house and home and where you live. So like I said, it can be updates, upgrades, but I do feel for you guys it's actually a physical move. I do see you actually seeing some people from the past, and you have avoided doing this. But it's come back on the table on the cards again, where you had considered seeing this person, but you didn't think it was correct, and you were trying to talk yourself out of it. But now you're sort of, it's frustrating you because it keeps popping into your mind, and you don't know how to shut that off. So it feels as though, you know, you're being told to. You need to follow your intuition. If it keeps coming up in your mind, it needs to be addressed in whatever shape or form, be it counselling or, you know, physically having a conversation with whoever this person is. Things pop up like songs and scenarios, and then you might hear them on the radio. They're a direct message from the universe for you. So you need to actually listen to them so you can get some information from it. Okay. You've changed a very long time ago. Now, you've actually had a very rough year, I feel. A lot of the energy that comes through with you is that you have been constantly changing, and it has been very heavy energy for you. You've definitely tried different scenarios to change things up so that life isn't like Groundhog Day and you're not getting the same outcome every single time. But there has been two main areas that have very much been blocking you. That is within relationships and how you directly relate to them. So this does not have to be your physical partnered relationship. It can be direct relationships connected to work colleagues, siblings. There's blocks connected to that, but it stems much further back. You're really being pushed to address these things. I do see some sense of anxiety as well connected to some scenarios that are trigger points for you. And you're really being pushed to step outside your comfort zone, and you're not liking it. This house directly related situation is adding to that added stress, and you don't know how to cope with it. But I feel if you keep busy and you deal with the process step by step, what you're going to find is it's not going to be an issue. It actually will help you do some processing and do some healing. And I just saw an orb pass by. So if this is directly connected to a loved one, having passed over, they're supporting you. And if you're feeling it's an injustice, in a sense of what's happening with you within the house, please don't look at it that way, because it's divinely placed there to help you purge an aspect of a block that's been there at this point. So I feel as though your loved one is saying they would never leave you without a trust in the process, and that's not for all of you. Okay. Now, you need to ground yourself and realize that your success is through you being balanced. So this is required so that you can get the very best out of situations, that you do have the power. You need to take your power back and become grounded. My true success is measured by my alignment. So by you being balanced, you're going to be able to keep the balance and not feel like your axis is actually falling over. This can be connected to a person of the age who was 57. Or maybe the balance of the scales was more on one side than the other. So instead of it being 50-50, it was 57. Yeah. Now, you've got to be careful what you're vibrationally sending out. Now, until the 13th of October, be very careful about what you're thinking and how you're seeing the world around you. If you're sending negativity out there, you're going to be up very late at night actually thinking these things, co-creating them and manifesting them. And the universe is asking you not to do that. Try and keep your energy very positive. It might be that you do see something that reminds you of a passed over loved one. And this can be the dove, or it could be a perfume or something directly connected to them. It might be on your peripheral vision, you visually see something. Okay, you're not allowing yourself to do something. You're blocking yourself, yet you have a very, very creative mind. Some of your mind is the problem, that you do have a very creative mind, but you're trying to make everyone happy. And I do feel this year you've done that the whole year, and it's really impacting you. No matter what age you are, be it you're 17 or you're 98, if something in your life isn't right, you do vibrationally have the choice to say to your loved ones and your family, this isn't me, and I'm wanting to do more. I'm here and I want to live, and I'm making some choices for myself, but it feels like you're living for them or doing things for them to keep them happy, yet this has made you very greatly unhappy. Okay, your attention to lack is manifesting more lack. So you've accepted less than what you generally would, but you've done this for a long time, and you need to ask yourself why you've been doing that. Okay, connected to family, base chakra, and your creativity, where you have taken away your power to actually create things in your mind and feel you have a right to do that due to family. Okay, couples. Okay, communication in the relationship is key. I am feeling that whatever these changes are, especially if you have blocks connected to past tense situations, it's actually impacting your relationship. I don't feel you guys are communicating right. I feel there's a different energy connected to you guys where you're up in your head quite a bit and it's affecting you. But you need to take your power back. You had a few of these cards a few months ago. Okay, you do not trust in this partnership. There is something off balance, or the process you're physically going through, which could be connected to family or house, is directly impacting the both of you within the relationship. you do still have power in this situation, so you have to own it. So if there is a sense of responsibility connected to what's going on, you need to own it. You may not have the clarity connected to this, and it is emotional for you, but your intuition directly connected to it is very high, and that's with the both of you. You are, in a sense, looking better, feeling better. And I'm feeling this is by the 2-week mark. But don't overdo it. If you're dieting, for instance, be careful what you're doing and how you're doing it. Make sure that you're doing it in a way that is healthy and rational, especially if any conditions are connected. I do feel you should talk to your doctor if that's the case, because I'm not a GP. Okay, your partner's healing, but they're actually being patient. But I feel them doing things on their own. I feel your energy to be quite separate. Okay, there's something coming up with them connected to fertility. This can be that you guys are talking about children, or they're wanting children, but you're looking at things differently. It can be directly related to their base chakra, that they're needing to deal with aspects of that. So it can be that for them, they're physically dealing with family-related issues still. Or something at a hereditary level needs to be checked on being shown. If they're going through certain energies at the moment that they're feeling are unfair, it can directly be connected to karma or destiny. You're waiting for something. It can be for someone. Okay, I am saying for some of you, you've got to work out what you want to do, because for some of you, this can be connected to a separation or a pending separation. For some of you, it can be that within your partnership, because you're not on the same page, not necessarily there has to be cheating. There can be an ex connected to a scenario if you're co-parenting and this is causing a dynamic. So when you see the third party, never think directly that it has to be another person who's interfering in a situation. It can be something as simple as you're both partnered, you have children in separate situations, and you're dealing with the co-parenting aspect, which can cause conflict in a relationship. It can also be work colleagues and insecurities directly connected to how you feel you are good enough for your partnership. But be very careful tapping into that energy, because it directly can be connected to your fears manifesting. So if you're worried your partner's going to do the wrong thing by you, by tuning into it, you can actually co-create it. And then it's like the universe saying, well, did you want to deal with that aspect? Can you actually emotionally deal with it? Because you fear it, can you deal with it? Okay, I'll pull 3 romance angel cards. But I do feel definitely the house is impacting what's going on, and you needing to own what you've been working through this year. And you're feeling connected to a loved one, I'm being told, that had passed over. Okay, you're keeping an open mind connected to the universe, and you are quite psychic in a sense, but you're not getting out and having some fun, and you're not dealing with money or career. And it may be that you need to. I do feel for some of you, I'm being shown the wool is over your eyes, but you're choosing to place it there. You need to deal with the black and white scenarios, because if you don't, you will be ill prepared, I'm being shown. So still try and have fun, and that will help you become grounded. And then also try and look at what is blocking you connected to career and your hopes and dreams. Singles. Okay. You guys are just putting your hands in the air and starting fresh. Okay, the old way of doing things, you knew you had to let go of, and it has taken a long time to deal with it, and it is an aspect of healing you've been doing. You're making different choices connected to what you're wanting. For some of you, it may be that you're still grieving, and this can be either connected to a past over loved one, or, you know, what you're dealing with emotionally, your mortality, for instance. Okay, you might have some gossip this month connected to something past tense that happened. This can be connected to the passing of somebody, where you hear something that you didn't know about. Now, for some of you, there is a legacy connected to money that is going to be dealt with this month. It might be paperwork related to you wanting to write a will, or a sense of a connection within your family. So anything directly connected to what is rightfully yours is coming up, and this can be connected to a person that is a Virgo. This person is very romantic, and I feel they're coming towards you. You're not quite, they're more heads over heels than you. You're tempted, but this person is coming on very strong. They do think they know you very well, and they're physically very excited, and they're offering you a fresh start. They're wanting you to look at it and consider. But I feel you to be nervous, and I feel a lot of it is still your past tense hurts you're dealing with, but also a box you've placed around yourself as to, as I said in the beginning of the reading, what, you know, perhaps what your ethics and morals are, and having to own your voice and say what you're actually wanting for your future. But you've got so used to not doing that this is a real trigger point for you in October. I feel like you're going to stand up for yourself. Okay. You're not letting friends help you, so you're internally doing the work on your own. You're being stubborn. You are not flirting with this person, but they're not just there for that, but that's what you're thinking. So you're waiting and you're making an assumption beforehand, but you are still nevertheless open to see if something is happening. You're not making an effort because you're waiting and going with the flow, which is fine. Okay, you need to free yourself from anything that's blocking you in order to let this person in. Okay, I will pull an animal totem. And that's for all of you. Should have done it in the middle. Or in the general part. I'll do that next month, because I keep forgetting. Okay. What you're not working on, but you need to work on, is clearing out the clutter. From an emotional standpoint, from what's hindering you and poisoning you and your mindset. It can be the physical house you need to clear out and being prepared in order to move forward. And also the past tense hurts that you've been holding on to for too long. There's no magic cure for it, but by looking at them, perhaps even crying, it starts the process of healing. And I think I will pull one card as a guidance for that. How to remove the block. Okay, by being grounded, ground yourself first to the point where you're ready to do that. So physically, you're going to need to choose the very correct time to say, right, I'm ready to address this, and I'm going to jump in the deep end. And just know, even if you are jumping in, you can then get out and it is going to be okay. and at least you know then you're purging it and you're ready to move forward. If you're wanting a booking, you can go to the link. Otherwise, bye.